Welcome to Unsubscribe. I'm your host, Avani Jain. In this podcast, I'm going to show you how to intentionally opt out of anything that's robbing you of your energy, freedom, joy, and peace of mind. It's time to let it all go, finally, so that you can clear your mental inboxes and make space to subscribe to a life that truly lights your soul. If you're ready, hop in. We are embarking on the transformation of a lifetime. Hello, everyone. This is Avani. Welcome back to Unsubscribe. We are officially no longer on our podcast sabbatical. I'm back and so excited. I can't believe it has been already 3 months of me not recording podcast episodes, and it was a much needed break. I am so grateful that I got to take this break, and thank you to all of you listeners, all of my friends that listen, for being patient. I know it's not always fun to wait for the next season or the next episode of content that you really enjoy. So thank you for bearing with me. It was exactly what I needed to recharge and come back with so many findings and learnings and ideas that I'm excited to share with you. So I'm actually going to be doing a 3-part series, and I'm calling it Sabbatical Upgrades. This is going to be part 1. We're going to be talking about my life upgrades, things I've been experiencing over the last few months, and just things I've been learning, how I've changed, what I've learned, what I am doing differently moving forward. And then part 2 is going to be all about house upgrades, things I've upgraded around my home that have really, really improved the quality of my life and my husband's life, and just make me feel good, because the physical environment needs to feel good in order for us to feel good. And then the third part will be about work upgrades. And that one's going to be an interesting one because things have really shifted in my work and professional life. And I'm just allowing what is right to come and to be, and be happy with that, because I feel like I'm entering the third or fourth act of my career, and it's going to look really different. It's going to look fun. It's going to look even more life-giving than the last act of my career. So we're not going to get too much into that right now. I'm just going to dive into the life upgrades today. And there are some big ones. So just to set the stage a little bit, my last podcast episode was, I believe, the end of June. And July, August, September, I did not record any podcast episodes for Unsubscribe. And I had some big personal life changes that happened. I had big shifts in friendships. I had a really close friendship that ended. That was really difficult. I also had some people that support our household, that decided to leave and move on to what's next. So there were some big changes. It's almost like the changing of the guards in some sense, and an end of an era for me in so many areas of life, and the start of a new era. So that felt like a gigantic shift. And really, I feel like the beginning of the summer, June-ish, opened this void, and almost like I was standing at the edge of a cliff and beginning to have this free fall where I couldn't hold on to anything. I couldn't control everything or anything, really. And I just had to allow, and things started falling away. People started to decide they wanted to move on from this contract, this relationship, in this way of being in relationship with me. And that was okay. So I'm going to walk through the things I've learned in the process of all of this, and where I am from a headspace perspective as well, because these have all been huge changes. From a work perspective, like I mentioned, I've just been viewing work differently. I really took a step back from Mantra Design Labs as well. The team is running the show. Our clients have been so happy and so thrilled. I'm just so grateful for my amazing team, and I let them do their thing. And it's been so cool to watch them thrive. And I needed to take the step back for several reasons, some of which I will share on the podcast, some of which I won't. But I really needed to stop creating for the world. I just needed to be, I needed to incubate and exist for myself and for my husband and for my family and the people really close to me. And that was what was important and what felt right to me in this era. So let's talk about these life upgrades. I have 5 things I've written down for you, and I'm just going to riff on them, see where we go, because unscripted is much more fun, because I love to see what comes out of the chat, the conversation, and I think you all enjoy that as well. So Number one, you can do all the right things and life can still go wrong. This is just a lesson that keeps on giving for me. I have noticed in so many situations, different relationships in my life, inside my family, friends, where I try my best to do what I can to prepare for an event, for an outing, prepare for a conversation, and anticipate people's needs. And I do this a lot because I am a retired people pleaser, recovering people pleaser, and I'm always anticipating other people's needs. My instinct has always been to figure out a way to make everyone else around me comfortable, to really almost manage the people and the things around me so that everything goes smoothly always and forever. But, it's life and that's never going to happen. So I've been really sinking into and allowing the fact that I can always do the right thing or what I think is the right thing, and things can still go epically wrong. This can happen in anything really, and I've just had to release control, like truly release control of a lot. And it's been difficult to accept that and to be really open to the idea that I am an imperfect person. And obviously I'm imperfect, everyone is imperfect, but me accepting that and knowing that that is still safe has been huge for me. And this can happen in small examples and big ones. A small example is I do the packing for me and Tushar when we go on trips. And this is just the division of labor for us. He does other things for preparing for trips or other things in our household. And I do the specific clothes packing. And in that task that I do my best to get everything Tushar needs in his suitcase and packed and zipped up and ready to go. Inevitably, once in a while, I will forget something. And I do my best. I have a list. I make sure I look at the events that are happening and make sure things fit him, ask him to try things on, make sure I have the accessories, make sure I have the right socks or whatever it is. I can do all the right things to prepare and pack the perfect suitcase for this trip. And still some weird thing happens, or it's rainy, or the weather changes, or I forgot something, or I didn't pack a belt, or I didn't pack the right socks, or the shoes actually he really hates them and why did I pick them? All of these things can happen. Things still go wrong. Life still goes wrong. And I just have to accept that and know that, hey, I didn't pack the right item. Maybe we can get one where we're going, or maybe it's actually okay and it's not that big of a deal. And I can be okay with being imperfect. I can be okay with moments where I do disappoint other people and people I love are disappointed, and that is okay. That is safe. They also get to choose how they react to situations and how they get to be. Now, I'm telling you this story because I feel like it is relatable in some ways. It's a little tangible to understand what I'm talking about, but Tushar and I have figured out a really good rhythm in terms of packing, and I now know ways to make sure that, I am covering all my bases. He gets to say in things. We're very happy with our packing situation. And he's very grateful that I pack for him. The next big life upgrade that has happened is I'm no longer taking things personally. And I feel like this is maybe a part 2 of number 1, but I have a different story to share here. So we love celebrating Halloween with our friends. And so we're planning a Halloween party, and I'm putting some amazing decorations together, just like I did last year. And we work with a balloon artist over the last few events that we've done who we really loved. And we reached out to them and wanted to do a big Halloween installation. The artist didn't respond. And I was like, okay, come on. Like, we really want to do this. Let's reach out to them again. And we emailed them, called them, tried to reach out. They did not respond. And they actually posted something on their stories saying, we will never work with you again if you move our decorations around, or something like that. And I don't believe we actually moved their decorations around, but maybe they thought we did. And so I remember feeling like, oh, maybe she's talking about us. Oh, no. And then she actually posted our decorations from a few years ago in her Instagram, like, oh, these are the amazing decorations we did. Halloween's around the corner. Work with us. Yay. And I was like, why hasn't she responded? She's posting all these things about us, or maybe this is related to us. Maybe she's mad at us. And I was like, well, what if she doesn't like working with us? Oh, no. And I was like, hold up. we are the ones paying her for her services. We're very good clients. I know we are. We're very grateful, gracious, understanding when things go wrong. We are very good people to work with. And if they've decided that they want a weird quirk to make them stop working with good people, then that is their decision. And I'm not going to take that personally because I don't have time, space, energy, or effort. I don't have effort to put into that energy or really just the space to care anymore about these tiny things. Like in the past, I would have really been upset, like, oh no, this amazing artist that I really enjoy her work doesn't like me anymore because of some weird thing. Oh no, I have to go fix it. But I don't. And I'm just not going to take it personally if someone decides to not work with us, to not respond, to be upset, like I said earlier. Big learnings, and these are really important for, like I said, the people pleaser in me. I ended up finding a really wonderful vendor to work with this year's Halloween party, and I'm really excited to work with them. And, it wasn't all that bad that I didn't get to work with this person that I liked and I found someone else. And I really believe that what isn't for us will fall away quickly, quietly, and effortlessly, and something new will take its place. It's always this or something better. Now let's jump into number 3, leaning back into my highest self. So I've been talking a lot with my therapist in this last 3 months about different things, and one of the big topics that keeps coming up is my egoic mind, my monkey brain always wanting to be doing things. My monkey brain can't shut up sometimes. And my therapist, who is amazing, helps me understand that that is me being in my egoic state. So when we think of the ego and our highest self, the ego is always leaning forward and it's in a forward momentum, always want to be doing and being and anticipating and manipulating, and really just the ticker, the mental ticker that never stops. That is the egoic self. And I have been feeling stuck in this forward state, forward motion, this egoic self for a long time now. And my therapist has encouraged me to lean back in my space, in my being, in my energy, and to allow for my highest self to come through, really like cut through the noise of my monkey brain. And this is something that has helped me so much in emotionally charged situations. And the way I do it is I pattern interrupt. I notice that my monkey brain is chattering and won't shut up and just like going crazy. And I take a moment, take a deep breath to reset. And I physically will lean back a little and almost visualize my energy leaning back in my body, which is kind of a weird thing to describe. But if you just close your eyes and try it, have your energy lean back in your body, almost like reclining into your body, you're getting out of your egoic monkey brain and you're getting into your more creative, right brained, higher self that's connected to source, that's connected to energy. And when you lean back into that highest self, creative solutions, ideas, and just space become so readily available to you. It's so powerful. And it's something that I've been practicing more and more, and just problem solving, because life has gotten very busy in this sabbatical time. Even though I've been doing less things that look like work, other things have gotten busy, and I've really needed to lean back and make space and allow pockets of creativity, spurts of ideas, and sparks of different, joyful feelings to come through, spacious feelings to come through, because I've been blocking them by being stuck in that forward drive egoic state. So I've been really practicing leaning back into my highest self. It's a weird thing to describe, but very effective. So the fourth big life upgrade I want to talk to you about is I've been really reevaluating what friendship means to me. Like I said earlier, I had a friendship end, which was really difficult. And I've been taking a look at all the other friendships in my life that have been super supportive, that have been long lasting. And I've noticed many of them, we slipped into this really beautiful place of ease, and friendship and growing that friendship has become easy in those relationships, which is really beautiful. And I didn't have to try. So I've noticed that friendships where I felt like it's easy and it's effortless and just fun and light, they have become really beautiful and deep friendships. And of course, you have to, in some cases, and also I say effortless, but you have to put in some level of intention. Like it just won't happen by itself. If you don't talk to or interact with or see someone for a year or two, yeah, they're probably going to feel like, oh, this friendship isn't high priority right now, which is totally fine. Like you can choose that. And they're going to make space for other friendships to come in. And you're going to not feel that deep connection anymore. So friendship can feel effortless, but it takes intentionality. It takes you making a bid and saying, hey, you want to grab coffee? Hey, how are you doing? Hey, I'm sending you a voice note because I feel like we haven't chatted in a while. I really want to catch up with you, but this is the only space that feels easy and accessible to me right now because life's crazy and busy and I don't know how else to do it. That's been me in some cases lately. So I've been reevaluating what friendship is. I've always wanted this really like close group of amazing friendships in Austin, and that's harder than I expected. I feel like my circle has shrunk. Life happens, we get older, we change. My circle has gotten smaller here, but I've noticed my circle in remote friendships, I guess, people that I've met online, people that I've met through business has grown. And it's actually okay. It's okay that I have some really close friends that I've never met before and I keep in touch on voice note, and that can be beautiful too. I'm just really allowing and accepting that feels supportive, that feels good. I might not see them all the time. Maybe I only see them once a year, like my amazing friend Celia who lives in Estonia. And we still have a really deep, beautiful friendship. And I consider her one of my closest friends. Like that can be okay. It's okay to have what your version of friendship looks like be different. You don't have to have 10 girlfriends who you hang out with and get drinks with all the time. That's just not how it is for me in this era of my life. And honestly, in the last, I would say 5 years, it hasn't been like that. I just don't have that. And that's not what I want, I don't think. I'm open to that. Like if that becomes what I want in friendship in a year or two or later, I'm open to it. But that's just not what's available for me or what I want or what feels good right now. I'm here for one-on-one deep matcha walks that feel so invigorating and bring my soul alive. I'm here for beautiful voice notes where I get to really share the deepest things in life with people I'm cheering on the other side of the country or the other side of the world. And that feels good. And that is okay. That's beautiful. That's amazing, in fact. So that is number 4. And number 5, the 5th life upgrade that I want to talk to you about is communication with Tushar, my husband. So we communicate very well. In fact, when Tushar and I started dating, he told me one of the things he values the most and is most important to him in a relationship is communication. And it's really great because I've prioritized communication more and more because I met him. And we are just so good at talking to each other and communicating with each other, listening to each other, and holding space for each other. I love that about our relationship. And I've noticed there have been things that we've needed to make decisions on with our home renovation, with other things, calendar wise in life, where we're just so busy. He's busy with work, I'm busy with other things, and we just haven't been able to have touch points to talk about them in our day. And that can be difficult because, hey, we want to hang out with this friend. When can we do that? When can we schedule this lighting meeting that we have to go to? When can we schedule this other thing? And it just piles up. And then I have this list of 10 things I need to talk to Tushar about. And instead, what I decided is we have created a joint private Slack channel just for us where we talk about different things. So we have a Slack channel for home stuff that's private. We have a Slack channel for the calendar and scheduling stuff that's private. And it's easy for him because he already uses Slack with work. And so I'm able to ping him and ask him questions and he can respond to it easily because it's already in his workflow and it's already in my workflow as well because I use Slack with Matcha Design Labs and my team there and with Unsubscribe. So I am just so excited about this new found upgrade in our relationship, which is communicating on Slack for like logistical things, for ordering things, for making decisions on like, hey, I found these inspo pics for the sauna we're making. What do you think? We don't have to have a 10-minute conversation about each and every one of these things. They can be quick chats where I send visuals or I send a thought, an idea, and we make a decision together asynchronously. And it's just such a beautiful way to work and operate and gives us time back when we're with each other in person and we can just be ourselves and not have to have this huge to-do list of things to talk about or make decisions on. And so I'm so grateful for that discovery. And I'm almost like, why didn't I decide to do this sooner? I don't know, but here we are. Slack to communicate about logistics with your partner. It is a game changer. Like email, things get lost in email, but Slack, I feel like can be much more organized and just so much easier to use. And I love ClickUp, but Tushar will not use ClickUp. It's one of the things that we disagree on very, very strongly. He loves his Apple Notes and I love my ClickUp. It's funny. It's like there are these memes where people who, unpack as soon as they get back from their trip and people who wait 10 days to unpack. They're two different types of people and they find each other and get married. And that's kind of us. Like Tushar is the Apple Notes to-do list person and I'm the ClickUp, let's be organized and have a system person. And we found each other and we got married and it works great. I'm so excited because we are not done. We have home upgrades coming up next week for part 2 and work upgrades coming up next week for part 3. And so I'm just feeling so good about sharing my findings in these last 3 months with all of you. And if you like it, if you want to hear more about certain things, please DM me and let me know on Instagram at Avani Jain. And I want to thank all of you from the bottom of my heart for being here. Thank you for listening. Thank you for encouraging me and sharing what's landing really beautifully with you or resonating with you. I appreciate all of you so much. And I cannot wait till the next podcast episode. I'll talk to you soon.